Hi, everybody. Welcome back or welcome for the first time. What's wrong?
Your laptop's still on.
Oh.
That's funny because I heard it and I wasn't even like, what's he talking about?
We like
we
it.
are never going to get used to this.
I was getting ready to, motivated, burned out.
What do you guys think about that awesome
Real
RJ
Redeemed.
Hampton original?
Yeah.
He's jamming.
Uh-oh.
Anointed and jamming.
I tore my little ball
All right.
off.
Well, Kim, you get yourself straightened back out.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Real and Redeemed. I'm Heather. This is the lovely Kim.
Yeah.
And we are glad to have you back on the show. If this is your first time joining us, hey, welcome. We're glad to have you. You can turn us on while you're like driving somewhere in the car. That's when I listen to podcasts. I go to Muncie every week to work with my Liberty horse trainer, and I like to just throw my phone on the console, hit a YouTube podcast, and just let it play while I'm rolling down the road. So if that's us for you, I love it. Drive safely. If we're hanging out with you while you're cleaning the house, get it, girl. Whatever you're doing, we're happy to, be part of it. And if you are a return, one of our faithful groupies, we love you. Tammy, hey girl.
Tammy's always here and we love that.
And then of course I know our number one fan is at home watching right now.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, I forgot to tell you, he said to give you a hug from him.
Aww. They're such a wonderful family. Anyways, so listen up. Next week, the girls from the drawing are coming, and they should be bringing just a bag of wisdom, okay? Because they're going to have a microphone, and they're going to be on camera. So we ought to have a lot of fun. I'm going to try to act right. So we'll see how that goes. I really don't know. It's going to be difficult to do that. Thanks for the hug, Doug. Thanks for the hug, Doug. Oh, yeah. That rhymes. Anyways.
I wrote him a song one time when I was first learning how to play guitar. Like I know 4 chords. Okay, I've had my guitar for a couple years now.
All you need.
Maybe it's 6, but like it's not. Anyway, so I would just follow him around the house because I was like, I'm gonna serenade you. So I'm just following him around. Like it's the same basic strum, and it's like 2 chords over and over. And I was like, Doug, I need a hug.
Oh, that's
Doug.
bad.
You remember that, baby?
It's sitting in the corner every time I go over there.
That one's not even
mine.
Well,
okay. Well, I don't know. I just haven't heard no guitar playing.
I played it the other day, just so you know.
All right. Well, tonight we thought we would talk about forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. And for one thing, everybody thinks, well, okay, I forgave. And then you see the person and it doesn't feel very good again. Whatever it is, tons of tragedy. And I thought I would just share the biggest thing I had to forgive about, which is ugly. It's really ugly. So I'm going to put it out there, though, because I had to tell you the process of the forgiveness.
And it is a process.
It is a process. When I got married the first time, and I was young, and I was a virgin, and my husband had been married before, so he was older than me, and he was pretty worldly. But we'll make a long story short. My son, who was a baby, fell out of his crib, and he had a skull fracture, and he was in children's, and I was working, and then I would go there and stay all night and go to work, and my mom would stay with him, and that's what we did. Well, my 21st birthday rolled around then, and my husband and the best couple friends that we ran around with came to the hospital and said, come on, we're going to go out to dinner. And I didn't want to go, and the nurse said, go on, Kim, go on, even drink if you want, just come back and we'll take care of you, So anyways, we go out, and I'm going to make a long story short. I don't really know what happened because I woke up in a psychiatric ward, and both of my wrists were cut, and I was in a padded room with a little window, not knowing. I had a bruise on my face, not knowing. But little by little, I got the memory back, and not to drag it out, but I walked into the room with the other couple my husband was laying down, and you can guess what my best girlfriend was doing, and her husband was watching, and they expected me to partake. And it took me probably a year and a half. Those memories came back in pieces. And I actually was psychiatrically unstable, in and out of the psych ward for probably a year, a good year, and they doped me up, and I was peeing on it was just horrible. But anyways, that's pretty tragic when you're a kid and that is the only love that you've ever known, and that kind of thing. So I didn't even attempt to forgive him. I got a divorce, and I dissociated from those best friends who ended up getting a divorce too. I just don't think you can weather that kind of thing, But over the course of time, so I ended up getting sober, and stopped drugs. But after, I really didn't use any drugs until then, and that's when I got crazy, and I lived crazy for a while, and then I got straightened up. But never did it enter my mind to forgive him, ever, or them, okay, or them. Well, he, of course, continued on with his drinking and drugging. Ironically, he got cancer of the esophagus. He died pretty young. He's been dead for a while now. But during that time, he had a G tube. They put a tube in his stomach, and he poured his alcohol and stuff down that. They told him not to smoke pot because the radiation would, if you smoked pot, they had radiated as well. He continued on. He died anyways. He died pretty quickly too. But, and ironically enough, at his funeral, which I did attend because of my children mostly, and I did go see him at hospice also. By then, forgiveness was okay, but it never occurred to me to forgive the couple. And the guy showed up at the funeral, and it hit me like I was disgusted. And by then I'm a Christian, okay, and I'm trying to, be a good girl and do right and follow what God wants, But I knew I hadn't forgiven him. So I didn't really know what to do, So people in Alcoholics Anonymous told me to pray for health, happiness, and prosperity for 30 days, and that they would guarantee that I would not feel that malice and that hate inside of me if I did that. And I did do that. And those feelings lessened greatly long before the 30 days, okay? But then as growing in Christ with forgiveness, it didn't occur to me what God has forgiven me for. I mean, dancing on dirty poles, doing the nasty for $25, and sometimes for no bucks, just for drugs, sleeping with guys that you couldn't even tell.
Jesus tells the story in the Gospels. I'm not, like off the top of my head, I'm not for sure what's the address to that verse, but you can Google it. But he tells the story of a king who is collecting debts from his servant.
Yes.
And he calls in a certain servant who owes him thousands. And he says, hey, it's time. You got to pay this. And the servant just begs, oh, master, I don't have this money right now. Please have mercy on me and give me some time, and I'll bring you all this money. And the king says, okay, absolutely. I'll give you time. Go. So he leaves, and then he goes and finds a servant that owes him like way more. Was it way more?
Way less.
Way less.
Way
okay.
less.
Okay, so
Way
he
less,
owed the king millions. Let's say that. Millions and billions.
A lot.
A lot.
We'll say a lot. We'll say a lot.
So he goes and finds another servant who owes him money, but it's way less money. And he's like, hey, I need this money right now. And the guy's like, oh my gosh, please have mercy on me. I don't have it, but if you'll give me time, I'll get it. So the guy is like, no, I'm not giving you time. He chokes him out, and then he has him locked away in prison until
That's
it
what
can
they did
be
with your
paid
debt
for.
then. They sent you to jail.
Yes. Until you pay the uttermost farthing. So anyway, the king hears about what this servant, the wicked servant, had done to the other guy. And he's like, well, you know what? If you're not going to forgive his debt, or give him time to pay his debt, then guess what? Boom, I'm doing the same to you. Yeah. So he calls his guards, and they go pick up that guy, and they grab him, his family, everybody, and they all go to prison until this uttermost farthing can be paid. And that's the same deal. Like, we have all these things from our past, and then other things, even like current, okay, all of our sins,
Now things, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I would like to think that my now sins are way better, way less than my old sins, okay? But anyway,
They are.
but they're sins, nonetheless. They are sins.
They're all
okay?
equal.
So, look, I don't know how I feel about that, but that's a whole side note. Because, when Jesus was standing before Pilate.
Well, I mean, no. Now, there's a couple things.
Yeah.
But we
That's
don't
another
need, We don't need
episode.
to go there.
That's
right?
another
Maybe we'll talk
episode.
about that next week.
Okay,
We'll see
somebody
what those
remember that. If you could write it down, that'd be
women,
great.
those women of wisdom.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
if you have these sins and you're like, God, I need you to forgive me, please give me, don't let me get stuck in that, and, whatever, like, just forgive me, mercy, all the stuff. And then God forgives you, and then you turn around and you see a sister out there struggling, getting tripped up or whatever, and you're like, what's wrong with you? You're terrible, like, shame on you. Like, that's not how you do it, or even if it's another situation like what she's saying, like, this person did a terrible wrong to her. Absolutely. Like, she would be justified by worldly standards to stay being angry at this person. But what's the saying about forgiveness? It's like drinking poison and expecting the person you're mad at to die.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's like,
and you hear this, all the mental health workers, it doesn't hurt anybody but you. That's true. That's true. It really just festers. Plus, you can't, the blessings of God, our slates need to be clean the best they can. The Bible says don't come to the altar if you have something against your brother.
No, if your brother has something against you, which is even crazier because like, that has nothing to do with you, right? Like, I can't help it if my brother's mad at me. It's not like I'm mad.
But you can. One of the things that people, we talked a couple episodes back or whatever, Heather mostly talked about communication, whatever. But here's the thing. There is no way, and I tell people this all the time, I can't make it right if I don't know that I hurt you. Because what I do promise you is I did not intentionally hurt you. Now, my mouth just rolls like a rock down a hill and picks up all kinds of moss on the way, okay? But if I hurt you and you don't tell me, how can I apologize and make it right? That's why we need to communicate, because we have to trust. Not everybody out there. I'll tell you something that's really, really hard. Oh, look, she looked that
she
up.
said Matthew 18. Thank you, Tammy.
Thanks, Tam. What did I say?
Your mouth rolls downhill and picks up moss.
Yeah, but that wasn't the last thing.
I'm sorry. That's where I'm still at. I thought that was hilarious.
Well, it wasn't that funny.
Oh, it was pretty
funny. That's true. Let me think here what I was talking about. This part of getting old right here. Okay, so what did I say? So if you don't tell me, because I didn't, yes, I know where I was going. Okay,
I'm glad I'm not the only one that happens to.
I'll tell you what is so hard for me, and I'm just putting it out there because I know a lot of victims. Oh, victims in a zillion levels.
I was chief.
Big victims and then little tiny victims where nobody does it your way. Nobody does it right. Oh, how could they do that? Blah, blah, blah.
It's everybody's fault that I'm strung out on drugs.
Yeah, when we talk about forgiveness, I think that wraps hand in hand with gratitude. You know, my mom used to tell me, you got a roof over your head, you got food in your stomach, and you got people to love. You have everything. And boy, is that the truth. The rest of it is just, you know, we was doing, my husband and I teach a Bible study on Wednesday, but I'll tell you, he's taken over. He teaches, and I get to say 2 words or whatever, which is okay. Whatever. I don't even know why I said that. He don't watch, so I'm doing good about that.
This is the one time he's tuning in, probably. Hey, Steve.
He's at the jail. I hope not.
Okay.
But anyways,
I'm going to make a reel out of that moment. Hey, Steve.
Hey. Stop it. No, you know what he's saying all the time?
What's he saying?
Now listen.
I'm going to tag you in this,
and I know enough about this.
Okay.
He'll say, he'd give me news, okay? He'll
gives
come
you
and
what?
say, news. Hey, do you know so-and-so's brother died?
Okay.
And he was in the basement. And I'm like, how'd you know that? Oh, well, I was going to Marketplace on Facebook and it just popped up. I've heard that about 20 times, okay? Those events don't just crop up, okay?
Well, you never know what's going to be the first thing on your feed when you open up Facebook.
Well, it is not going to be news of our church and stuff going on.
No, it could be. It could be.
Every time.
Listen, I don't know, but probably not every time. I don't know what those odds are, but it's definitely a possibility. Don't shoot him down yet. He could be telling the truth.
So he'll
and if
say
he's
something
not,
about
you have
this,
to forgive him.
Because this just popped up.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to see this.
Pop up.
He's going to see it.
Okay, but anyways, gratitude goes with forgiveness. You know, because anyways, a Bible study, what I said yesterday, and I just love this. Do not let what you see here affect what you know here. And man, that is so important. It doesn't matter here. This is also temporary. It's not eternal, you know. And so to forgive, really, I've gotten pretty good at it over time.
Yeah.
I've gotten really pretty good at it.
It's a process that takes a lot of practice. You don't normally just jump out the gate like with your little fancy wand, like a magic wand. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you, little glitter. I forgive you. Like you want to, okay? When you first give your life to Jesus and everything's so new and exciting and you're like, yes, I'm going to be this hardcore Christian soldier and I'm going to do everything right because I love the Lord. And you're really trying and you mean it in your heart of hearts. And then you get out there and then boom, you trip over this little pebble because you're like, whoa. Didn't see that coming. That was kind of hard. Like you meant well until some stuff actually starts to come up.
We get our feelings hurt.
Definitely.
So
Things
silly.
happen. And I heard this today. Okay, there's a lady, I don't know if anybody has ever heard of her. Her name is Lisa Turkhurst. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She is an author. I've never read any of her books, but I've seen some of her YouTube videos. Yeah. First of all, she's hilarious. Second of all, she really sounds very wise and has a lot of good wisdom that she shares. So I haven't watched her enough to know for sure. Like I don't know if she has any crazy beliefs, so I'm not like totally endorsing her. But I've the couple videos that I've watched, she seems pretty awesome. So I'm gonna watch some more. But I'm telling you this because she said.
I'm trying to think of what the book is.
She said, triggers are God's mercy because if the full weight of that thing had hit you all at once, the impact probably would have killed you. And so I hear this today, like literally this afternoon, I hear this quote. This morning, I was with the girls from the House of Ruth and our class was not on forgiveness. That was all the Lord dropping into Kim today. But we had to talk because I had a girl, and without giving any details, she has forgiven a person that's close to her in her life, but when she's around this person, and it's a person that is close to her, that she loves, that she doesn't want to draw a boundary to get them out. And I don't think she needs to draw a boundary. So it's somebody she needs to figure this out with, okay? When she's around this person, it kind of triggers some things that happened a long time ago. You know, so she has these feelings that come up, and she's trying to figure out how to deal with these feelings. So we spent a lot of time talking about triggers. So when I heard that quote this afternoon, I was like, oh my gosh, that's really amazing. And I personally, like, I've experienced that. And let me tell you this. When I was first new in recovery, I was like, triggers are dumb. Stop talking about triggers, okay? Like, just be over it, okay? Yeah. Like, that was me in my immaturity, thinking I had it all figured out because I had never fully experienced one. Okay, God is taking me on this crazy journey right now, and I'm in the middle of reading, and I think I brought this up to you guys. I told you guys already. I'm reading this book, The Body Keeps the Score, by that guy with a Dutch name, okay? And, like, not all triggers are, because when I first came into recovery, I was like, okay, well, if I see a meth pipe, I'm going to be like, ugh, no. You know, what's that? There's a meme that has Drake, and it says, like, something dumb, and he's like, and then it'll show another picture of him, and it's something good, and then he's like, anyway, I don't know. I don't know. So, I shouldn't have done that. Now I got to go back all the way around like Kim just did. Follow me. Okay, so the triggers. Boom. We are so one in the podcast. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, like, yeah, if I see a meth pipe or, you know, whatever, I'm just going to be like, no, thank you. And it might mess with me for a second mentally, but it's a mental thing. And if I just change my thoughts, you know, change my people, places, and things, it's going to be fine. Yeah, absolutely. But then, like, I got way down the road, okay? Like, I wasn't even really walking with Jesus here. Like, I was kind of, like playing with him, but I wasn't really, like, committed, okay? But then later, way later, fully surrendered, walking with Christ, I was shocked that some things came up that I 100% felt in my body and had zero control over and felt it so hard. And it just came on me all of a sudden. I was probably held captive in my mind for at least the whole rest of the day. Like, I'm stuck in here and cannot get out because of something that I physically felt. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is, some real stuff, you know? So, like we were saying, forgiveness is a process. The whole thing, every bit of all of this is connected. The forgiveness, the growing closer to Jesus, the renewing your mind. It's all a very beautifully interwoven tapestry of your life that becomes bigger and bigger and more beautiful as you go on, okay? And these things, whatever it is, okay, your triggers, your past, things you need to forgive are going to be totally different than what mine are and what Kim's are. We've all got our own junk.
And the process is different.
Oh, yes.
It's like wisdom. Like when God unveils your eyes about some things, he doesn't give you more than you can handle because you won't do the right thing with it.
Yes.
Forgiveness is that way too during that process. Like, my big thing when I was learning to forgive, this is horrible, but it's what it is. I probably have said it before because it was a huge part of me. So, like, people that I didn't like, right? And they come up and say, oh, good morning, Kim, how are you? And then my brain says, shut the heck up, only not like that, okay?
I'll bet it was probably something more
like this. It was like this. Yes, it was very much. That's my brain, though.
Hey, you know what? Listen, for anybody who might be new here, we just want to update you on this. Because if you're just turning us on for the first time, you're probably like, what's wrong with these girls? Y'all are supposed to be Christian girls, and you're sitting here with this. Look, okay, we are very open and honest about things that we still struggle with. And a long time ago, Kim whipped out a word or two or three. It was the same word, but multiple uses. And because I love her and I want her to be the best version of herself that I can be, and I'm the iron sharpening her iron.
No, that's not why, but okay.
Yeah, it is. Okay. I am teasing her and making fun of her to make her to be a better person. That is how I motivate my friends. How do you motivate your friends?
Yeah, with a squirt bottle.
Oh, yeah. If she says it again, I will spray her.
Yeah. But I'm smart now. I remove the bottle if I'm going to say something.
She does.
Yeah. I mean, that's
good.
Up. It's good.
But it's growth. It is growth.
But anyways, back to brain hate. That's what I used to call it, brain hate. Out of my mouth would come, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Or I'm fine. How are you? But really not how are you, because I don't want to carry on a conversation. And I can honestly say pretty much today, I have people that I don't want to spend my off time with, but I don't feel like that anymore. They can say, how are you, Kim? And I can honestly answer and not have brain hate. That was a stinking process, and that just goes on at deeper levels, and eventually, the thing of seeing people through Jesus's eyes is like so important because we get so removed from who we are that we look at somebody and maybe don't. God loves everybody. He loved me back then. He loved me now. He chased me. He still does, and everybody out there. There is no better. He made every single one of us. We are all a mess. And anybody denying it, you need to take an inventory. Okay, I'm done.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's such a thing. You've always got to be checking in yourself. You know,
do.
Stuff creeps in, and you won't even realize it until something happens in the
If
moment.
you don't do a personal inventory, you need to. I mean, you need to do that every once in a while and be honest with yourself of who you are and look at your stuff, and start working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me throw out a couple tips, okay, for when you're triggered. And I recently heard this too, because some people were talking about how triggered is so overword. Like that's such a word that's overused. So they started using the word activated. So whatever, I like them both, really. So you use whatever you want. You triggered, you activated, whatever.
No, we ain't going to use New Largo.
It's whatever.
Look,
I'm not
trigger tips. I like that word.
Trigger tips.
Trigger tips.
Okay, so
go.
Okay, all right, you're triggered.
All right.
Okay, I need you first right away. I need you to go, whoa, I feel a feeling. What is the feeling? I need you to name it, identify it. I need you to know what it is and what caused it. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then, like, what's going to happen is you're going to get stuck inside here. Okay, like this is going to take over, right? It is going to try to hold you hostage. So step number 2 is I need you to bring yourself back into your body. I need you to know to just take an inventory of how you're feeling in the moment, and you can do this one of a few ways. You can do like a little breathing exercise, okay? In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. You can, somebody was telling me a new one that I hadn't heard was something like cross your arms and then like tap or something. Like that does, it just kind of brings you back into the moment, back into awareness. Another option is to just take an inventory of how you feel physically from your head to your toes. Just mentally go through each one and okay, my head is this, my shoulders are, okay, I got to push my shoulders down, or, my back is, I feel whatever, just all the way down. Okay. And this is going to bring you out of your head and back into what is actually going on. Okay. So now you have identified the feeling and, hopefully the cause. You don't always get the cause. Let's be honest about that. Okay. Sometimes your body, because your body keeps the score, right? Your body is going to pick up on something that you don't even realize it's picked up on. But you're going to take an inventory of your surroundings, just kind of tuck those away in your back pocket along with that feeling, because maybe at some point you will figure it out. But if you do know, okay, awesome, the cause and the feeling, bring yourself back into right thinking by being present and physically in your body. And then I want you to choose how you're going to handle this trigger. Okay. For some things, you might really be all the way tempted to rage out violently. You might throw yourself into a ball on the floor and just heave and cry. You might throw up. You might run off and go hide. I don't know. But sometimes when things happen, when these attacks come on, these triggers, like it can be pretty intense and extreme. It's not always that way, because just like the forgiveness and everything else on this journey, it's a process that you get better with over time. So maybe like the first time you realize you're having this response, you want to get violent or throw yourself down onto the floor and cry or whatever. But as you practice the 1, 2, 3 of identifying the feeling, getting yourself back into your body and in the moment, and then choosing a different response. And that's part of like the step 2 is going to help you with step 3. And then definitely, because, you know, like you're going to have all of this information, okay? You put that in your back pocket and then you go take a walk, or you go pet a horse, or you go stand outside with your bare feet in the grass. You know, go find you some healthy things. Go journal about the moment. Go tell a friend that you trust, hey, this happened. You know, can you pray with me about this? Like, I think God is starting me on a
You can
journey
read
of being
scripture,
revealing
too.
things to me. Oh my gosh, that is always the answer first and foremost. You reach out to
Just
God
crack it
yourself
open.
and
Crack it
open that
open.
Bible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's thank you for saying that. I should have always started with that. Like, it's in my mind. I know that that's what I would say to do, but I'm trying to like just throw out some little practical things in the moment to follow that up with. But Jesus first, always, in everything. That is always the answer.
So you go through this process, right?
Mm.
And then it'll happen again, but it
Yes.
won't be
Mm-hmm.
so big.
Mhm.
And the next time it won't be that big.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time it'll just be
And then one day it'll
won't
happen,
be.
and you're gonna realize
even
like, wow,
notice.
I just handled that.
Yeah.
Like that whole moment just came and
I'll
went,
tell
and
ya.
it was a non-event, and I'm calm and chill.
Her head to toe thing, I'll tell you what I do. And this works, and it's magic, and it's so silly. I start at my head all the way down, and this is what I say. My brain is really relaxed, really relaxed. My ears are relaxed, really relaxed. My face is, and I go on, I do my neck, I do my shoulders. By the time I'm down to my toes, I'm almost levitating.
That's awesome. And you know, if you haven't experienced something like this, you might think, wow, you girls sound really dumb right now. Okay? Because at one point in time, I would have said the same thing. Okay? But I had a panic attack one time. Only time I've ever had like an actual like panic attack. I was already in the hospital, and the nurse like was not. This was like before I had gotten like super, super heavy on drugs. It was right after my mom died, and I was taking a bunch of Adderall, and I got in the hospital over an infection that I had, and I don't know what happened. I mean, like literally my mom had just died like a couple weeks prior, and I'm having this whole panic attack, and the nurse comes in and accuses me of being on meth, which I understand, you know, because the way the Adderall reads in your drug tests and stuff, and like, you know, at the time, I probably wouldn't have believed me either. But, like, I know the fact of what really went on. And, like, in my mind, I wasn't where she thought I was. But that was, I mean, I got zero love, zero help. Like, she just, like, yelled at me and acted like I was ridiculous. And I didn't know. I was kind of scared because...
Oh, it's frightening.
It took over my whole body. And I'm like, what's happening? You know, and she just...
That's real anxiety.
You're just being dramatic because, you know,
Whatever.
no. You know, so if you've not experienced that, you know, then you don't know. But if you have, these are really helpful things. And don't be embarrassed about it. Find somebody that you trust, you know, that you can talk to about, like, when these things come up.
Many people can relate.
Yeah. You know, people aren't just out talking about it all the time.
They
But
don't even have to relate, actually. You feel better when you speak it to someone else. It lessens the burden.
yes.
Okay?
If you
Like-
say something out loud,
Yes.
it no longer has the power over you.
Correct.
And that's true for so many things.
Yeah, it is.
And look, if you've got a loving sister in the Lord, she doesn't have ever had to experience a panic attack or a drug addiction to love you.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to just find somebody that you trust with all your stuff that you can share things with. And it doesn't matter. It just has to be somebody that you trust who really has your best interest at heart, that you know will pray with you, will pray over you, will hug you. You know, I mean, whatever you need.
I hear the rain.
I hear it too. Oh, we got a storm coming.
There's a tornado. Watch out. And it's raining.
I'm so wound up. Kim makes really good coffee.
I do. But she's had my coffee cup since Sunday. I had to use a yucky one. But
She left it at my house Sunday night, and I
because she
messaged
gave
her.
me eggs and some pop.
I messaged her after she left the house, and I was like, or no, maybe she messaged me
I did
first,
her,
but I
yeah.
was about to message her, and she said something about leaving her thermos at my house, and I was like, yeah, girl, are you in withdrawals yet?
Heck yeah.
Because that is the kind of coffee drinker Kim is. FYI, that's the person you want making your coffee. Let's just be honest about that. All you people, okay, if you've never been to an AA meeting and had their coffee, you don't even know what real coffee is.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Okay, we're done.
Bye.
I do believe. Love you guys. See ya.
See you next week
Cut
with
us,
the girl.
Billy.